Las Vegas is still alive. 16-14 as Carlson hits the game winner.
Amazing. Raider Nation coming out, hitting the curveball. Out here just doing anything for a win right now.
That's a dub.
An amazing win. It took everything in us, but we got it done. Very proud of the boys, man. Just win, baby.
Big time, man. Proud of this team, man. On the road, big time effort, man.
Smiling and alive. Welcome, Raider Nation, into Raiders Game Day. Vince Sapienza in for Aaron Coscarelli. Here is a man you know all too well, EA Eric Allen.
Man.
It's not how you win, it's how many that is remembered at the end of the season.
Just win.
This is the epitome of just win, baby. EA, your rapid Raiders reaction to this one.
Gutsy performance by this football team. You have to do it on all three levels, of course, and at the end of the ball game, defense gets the ball back, gives opportunities. Offensive line, that last drive, amazing. And then what about our clutch kicker making it happen? Congratulations to this Las Vegas Raiders football team. All the craziness going on with the COVID situation. Had to go to Cleveland, get a win, and we got it done.
All the question marks that was going into this game. Was it going to be played Saturday? Now it's Monday. All these different things. It doesn't matter who was on the field. What matters is that scoreboard at the end of the game and the Raiders coming out on top 16-14. We have plenty to unpack in this week 15. Here is what is on tap. We've got the game highlights. As always, player and coach reaction you need to hear. And of course, EA, we're breaking down that AFC playoff picture because the Raider Nation are alive and well. The silver and black well represented. Well, let's get to the highlights. First half we go.
Hey, where's my man 2-4 at? Jonathan Abram.
A guided missile
he
today.
Showed up. What running game we need to be worried about. Great job by Jonathan Abram all day long.
Leading the team in tackles despite not finishing the game. More on that in a little bit, but this defensive line came to play.
Yeah, you got to. You know that this Browns team was going to try and run the football down our throats.
All right, now, Derek Carr and Hunter Renfrow, I cannot say enough about what Hunter Renfrow did to this DB. Look at he broke his ankles with his eyes.
Yeah, I mean, just creative route running. Him and DC definitely have the magic.
And this is what you call taking what the defense is giving to you, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Derek Carr, 8 for 8 on this opening drive, 7 different receivers, and it ends in that beauty.
That is a professional football drive right there. Use your back out of the backfield. And Josh Jacobs had almost 50 yards receiving. But again, you have your quality, great hands receiver, young guy snatching it from a Pro Bowler, Denzel Ward, to score a touchdown.
Plucking the pigskin out of thin air, the dog pound. A little quiet to start the game. 7-0 Raiders, but Nick Mullins.
Great hit, way to finish. Beat on a double move, but you know what? 3-5, continues to play through the down. All young corners, look at that. Great punch. That left jab looked like he should be in Vegas somewhere.
We're gonna talk more about Brandon Faison later up in the show. He had a great game, but
that's a great
again,
play.
Look at Jonathan Abram.
That's a great play. We're not gonna see it again, but that's a great play of him understanding the route and then breaking down, securing the tackle.
Let's give some love to the big fellas.
Why?
Solomon Thomas.
Man, that's a way to run it down. This defensive line all year long has been about never giving up, relentless. That's a great stop on a critical third down play.
And that's a big deal because that brings out the punting unit. The Raiders defense forcing 4 straight punts from the Browns offense to start the game, and that puts the offense back on track. Hunter Renfrow finding those soft spots in the defense, and DC again moving the ball. Look at Peyton Barber right here.
And great job again by the offensive line, giving him time to throw, and again providing some holes for Barber to be able to run through.
And okay, so we're in the red zone again. Brian Edwards proven to be a target, but you know the Raiders still
only 50% in the red zone.
Only 50%,
not good enough.
Not quite good enough at what you want this time of year. But Daniel Carlson, he proved to be money from start to end. It's 10-0 late in the half, but here is Cleveland.
With an opportunity.
Chase McLaughlin made the first one, but Rich Bisaccia calls a timeout like the special team strategist he is, understanding the psyche of the kicker, calls the timeout, makes him do it again. He misses. Raiders go into the break up 10-0, making the Browns shutting them out for the first time since 2018.
That's impressive. Coach Rich got a play in before halftime. So we'll talk about tackle or a big play from him. That was amazing. But again, the one thing that the Raiders have to do in the red zone is get touchdowns. That's what's really providing these opponents from being able to stay in the football game. You get a touchdown there, you get a 14-point lead. There's almost no way this Cleveland Brown team is going to be able to come back.
Now, again, I know Raider Nation, a little hesitant with just a 10-0 lead considering the other team, but that was a solid performance on both sides of the ball, and it really started to continue in the second half because we had more special teams.
Coach Rich again.
Shenanigans.
Makes another play.
A fake punt on 4th and 2, and Dallin Levitt picks it up. Give some credit to my man Trent Sieg with that fantastic snap to make it all happen. But here we go with the offense. DC getting it to Josh Jacobs, moving that ball.
Like I said, Josh has really showed up in the receiving game this year, more receptions than any point in his career so far. Really doing an outstanding job, but man, got to secure that ball. These last 3 or 4 games, the fumbling, the drop balls have really been an issue. Another reason why we haven't been able to put teams away like we should have.
And it was a real scary situation, obviously. Derek Carr going down, coughing it up. The turnover, not as big of a deal as the possible injury. He would be okay. He would not miss a snap, but Cleveland all of a sudden finds some live turnovers, create some confidence for the offense.
You're right. That turnover creates momentum for this football team. You can't hold a talented running back like Chubb down for long, so he was able to kind of get an explosive run here, and we know we have to figure out a way to stop these back-to-back explosive type runs.
Nick Chubb had just 14 yards rushing in the first half. He had 34 on that drive alone. So the Raiders defense doing well in that first half, but again, you can only hope to contain a superstar running back so long. So it's 10-7 now, Raiders in the lead. Look at Foster Moreau. He's getting a lot more action with Darren Waller on the bench with that injury.
Yeah, have to continue to step up, be more consistent, and Derek Carr loves hitting Foster Moreau in the middle of the football field.
Zay Jones, he turned out to be a big target for DC.
Him and Derek are tight. You know that, and that was an outstanding catch right there.
So again, here we go. Raiders extending their lead, 10-7. Daniel Carlson a little too tight on that field goal for my liking, but it is good nonetheless. A 6-point game, and Nick Mullins just
that was his best throw today because it had to be over a linebacker in front of a corner.
And here's Chubb again. Looks like they take the lead here, but a holding call. This is the point of the game where the Raiders defense were on the field quite a bit. They looked a little tired.
Yeah.
But
Chubb was trying to cook right there.
Trying to cook, but then here it is on 4th and 5 from the 6.
Nothing good happens when you lose contain. Nothing. From Pee Wee football, high school, nothing good happens when that quarterback is on the edge extending plays. We can't afford to allow that to happen.
So look at the clock. It's under 4 minutes to go. Raider Nation sitting there saying, no, not again. Derek Carr going deep, getting a little greedy.
Yeah.
Greedy Williams making the INT.
Yeah, for sure. That was a great play by the cornerback. Got to give them credit. Played upfield shoulder, tracked the ball, got the interception. But what has to happen now?
Defense.
The defense has to do what?
And look at that D-line, Jonathan Hankins. That interior defense, we're going to, again, talk about it some more later in the show, but that was a pivotal play because it gives the ball back, and all of a sudden, Derek Carr.
What do you have to do?
All you want in life is a second chance, right, EA?
Exactly. Offensive line again, giving protection, allowing Zay Jones down the football field. A little bit too much protection right there. Got called for a penalty. But what I'm saying is you need your offensive line to hold up against this powerful pass rush to be able to get the ball down the field to your tight end, Foster Moreau.
And how about Foster Moreau? A couple drops earlier in the game, but makes a big play right there, staying in bounds just enough to get the extra 5 yards. And then this is backyard play. That play right there is 2 years ago, Zay and DC working out together and at the park, making it happen. And then Daniel Carlson earning every dime of his new contract.
Look at that. That goes back to when you're 10 years old. Jumping in the pile, you won a game at the end. All 3 phases of our football team had to step up at the end of the game to be able to celebrate like they did.
Once again, much love to the long snapper, Trent Sieg, doing it twice. Yeah. All right, here's a look at the final game stats provided by Sports Water. What jumps out to you?
Time of possession is important when you're facing a team with the third-string quarterback with a really powerful running game. And again, 98 yards rushing, almost hit that 100 yards with both Barber and Josh. Those turnovers. And you can't win too many football games with losing the turnover battle, as we all know. That's the one, I think, critical stat that over the past 15 years. I think every football fan understands you got to win a turnover battle at this point in the season to give yourself a chance to win.
EA, talk me through the locker room right now, because you're getting set to get on an airplane.
Yeah.
And you get called back. The game gets moved. You're on the road.
Man.
It's cold. You put this gutsy effort. You're on the verge of another loss. You pull out a victory. You keep your playoff hopes alive. What is that locker room like right now on the plane ride home?
Well, Vince, I tell you, this Raider team has been resilient, and they understand that hurdles are going to continue to come their way, and this is just another hurdle. So they just kind of put it up, got back off the bus. They were about to get to the airport, came back to the facility, understood that they're going to play on Monday. So, again, you have to regather yourself. You have a plan of the whole week, studying, time at home with your family. That's interrupted. You have to find a way to gather yourself when you're flying to Cleveland as a group, your unit, your defensive back unit, defensive line unit. You just continue to talk over what's going to be important once you hit the ground. It's all about being able to leave Cleveland with a W, no matter what it looks like. And again, wasn't pretty today. It was gutsy today.
Right.
But that ride home right now, you are so excited about moving on. You're not worried about how you won. You're not worried about what happened. All you're worried about right now is preparing yourself for the Denver Broncos.
And while they're enjoying this for the moment, we are looking ahead, because that is all Raider Nation wants to know. What does this mean?
Right.
Here is
Look
a
at
look
that.
at the AFC playoff picture. As you can see, the Raiders moving up a little bit.
Yeah, for
on
sure.
That ladder,
That's so important.
with everything still in front.
Because this game, the Browns were playing for first place, right? The Browns were playing for first place, so it's an important game for both teams, playoff hopes, seeding, and that sort of thing. So you have to take care of business, and that's what you need to focus on. You need to focus on you as a team, figuring out the next way, the next opponent you need to win. You let the fans kind of worry about the playoff picture and who you need to beat and who they need to lose to, but it's really important that you continue to stress that this football team has opportunities to win. And that's what the most important thing is right now. This coaching staff needs to continue to send that message like, hey, we have these teams coming up. All these teams are playoff teams. We got to continue to push forward to be able to win some of these book-time football games.
And you look at that AFC playoff picture, you see the two teams ahead. You beat both those teams.
Yes.
So you know you deserve to be there. Despite all that's happened, you still deserve it. We have plenty more to break down here on Raiders Game Day. After the break, we are going to hear from Raiders interim head coach Rich Bisaccia. Hear what he had to say following tonight's win.
Raiders Game Day is brought to you by Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders. Coors Light, an official beer of Raider Nation made to chill. And by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com.
Well, again, I think they have the right to, speak their mind when that particular thing happened. I thought they did a really good job of coming back to work yesterday and resetting to some degree. Credit to our defense. We weren't sure what quarterback we were going to play against and try to prepare for all of them. And credit to the Browns before, right? They've gone to Pittsburgh a year ago with a lot of COVID issues on coaches and players and came out and then won that game. And they came out today and they played really good football, really physical football. And it was a battle to the end for both teams. So credit to our team preparing for, to some degree, jersey numbers. I think they probably had to do the same thing. We lost Hobbs this morning. We didn't know that was going to happen. They didn't know that was going to happen. We lost Will Compton last night. Again, just jersey numbers and to some degree nameless, faceless players, except we all know who 95 is for them. But, again, credit to our guys for the way they finished the game.
That was Raiders interim head coach Rich Bisaccia. This is Raiders Game Day. Vince Sapienza, Eric Allen, and EA. I want to ask you what we just heard. Clearly a lot of frustration on Friday before they were supposed to be scheduled to leave for Cleveland. They get told the game is moved. There's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of reasons for excuses. There's a lot of reasons they could have said, you know what, everyone's against us. They didn't. They didn't pack it up. They showed up. And how difficult is it to show when he talks about plain jersey numbers, faceless guys on the field?
For sure. And again, we have to remember this is an interim coach. Coach Rich hasn't had a lot of experience in handling the situations. And again, we're in a still COVID situation also. So there's a lot on the table, which you have to do. And what he did, and he's continued to do, is really gather his football team to rally around each other and make sure that everyone who steps on that football field understands that we practice the same way, we have the same goals at the end of the game. And that's finding a way to put ourselves in situations that we can win. And again, some of the things that are outside of our control, he always talks about things that are outside our control is a wasted emotion. We're not worried about those things. What can we control? We can control how we step on the football field, we can control how we practice, and we can control how we step on the airplane. And when we get off, what kind of attitude we have. All those messages loud and clear as an example of what we did today.
Coaches all the time talk about your best leaders are the ones who's in the room. Rich Bisaccia has said that many times this year, and there's no bigger leader in that locker room than Derek Carr. And Derek Carr, for the ups and downs we've seen, in the moments he needed to be the guy, he was the guy.
He comes through, and if we go back to the previous games, it's not like he has played poorly. Sometimes you get some drops, or you get a sack, the line doesn't hold up. He's the one consistent. He's going to give his team opportunities to win football games. He just has to find a way to have just enough time. See here, climbing the pocket, throwing the ball in the middle of the football field. He does an exceptional job at playing the quarterback position. He's on the edge today making plays, stepping in the pocket, utilizing 5 or 6 different receivers. He doesn't have a genuine number one guy, so he's kind of forced into making Zay Jones a number one guy, right? And so you have to understand that there's a lot of things going on that a normal quarterback, a guy who doesn't play at the level of Derek, would really crumble. And he's continued to give his team chances to win. Resiliency is a word we've heard a lot this season throughout the National Football League, but specifically the silver and black. And Derek Carr went through his own trials and tribulations within this game. He took that injury. He didn't know how he was going to feel. Tested out. Everything was fine. He throws that late interception. Could have been a backbreaker.
Could have been a backbreaker. For a lot of quarterbacks, it may have been. But he comes back. The defense gives him another chance, and he makes the most of it. Making plays when they even weren't there. Right, for sure. And another thing about that, too, is when a player makes a critical and crucial error at the end of a football game, if players don't have the confidence in him, it's not just the player like Derek Carr who could be rattled, but the players around him. So they're not ready to make that play once you get the ball back. So, again, it gives you a little insight into what these players really think about Derek Carr and how appreciative they are of having a leader like Derek is going to continue to battle throughout the whole game. And Derek Carr, after the game, in his post with the national media, made sure it was clear. He heard what they were all saying prior to this game, and he was happy. And so was Raider Nation for him to deliver as well. But as good as Derek Carr was, this interior defensive line, I mean, we talk about, forget who wasn't on the field today. Nick Chubb was on the field, and he is dangerous every time he touches it, but this interior line made it a mission to not get burned. It was a challenge today. We play some what we call 9-on-7. That's a drill in practice when it's just running. It's just the 9 offensive players against the 7 defenders, and you got to find a way to show up and make some plays. And again, this one thing that has been like running through this team through practice, preseason, is the defensive linemen, this kind of effort to get to the ball and help the run defense. And I think Gus really did a great job this week of providing some film for these guys. Like, here's what we need to do. Here's how we get it done. It's not just one, it's gang tackling, but it all starts up front. If we see you guys continuing to get after it, it's going to encourage Abram. It's going to encourage those linebackers. They did a phenomenal job today of not just getting after the running game, but really controlling the offensive line for the most part as they were getting to the running back, not allowing those offensive linemen to get to the second level on those linebackers in our strong safety. So credit to this D-line today. Magnificent job today in taking down one of the best run offenses in the National Football League. And what's even great about this is the kind of game they know they're going to be getting run at time and time again. It's cold. None of them had sleeves on. They were ready for this game.
Embracing the coldness.
All the wide receivers, the DBs, they put on the long sleeves. Not those guys. Not the big fellas.
You can't get caught, over 290 pounds with sleeves on. It's not a good look.
They played out of their mind, and that's not just us talking about. Max Crosby couldn't help but share his emotion for what they did today. Take a listen.
Oh, Hank, that doesn't surprise me whatsoever. He's one of the best run-stopping guys in the league. He always comes up in big times, big moments, running downfield on screens. The dude's 340 pounds, damn near, and the effort he plays with is insane, and that goes for our whole group. Guys are playing their tail off, and we gave our offense another chance.
Statistically, this might have been your best defensive performance of the year as a unit. Did it feel like it out there, or did you guys were locked in?
Yeah, I felt like we played well. There was a couple drives in the second half where it was just one or two things where we let them slip out of the pocket, like on the one touchdown, and then they ran that one in. We got to be more sound. I think they had like 60 yards at half. We just got to have that complete game, but we found a way. At the end of the day, we got our offensive ball back, and that's all you can ask for is giving DC a chance to get us a dub, and Daniel finishing the job. So we'll learn from it. Obviously, I got to watch the film, but it was a fun day.
I don't know why Max got to throw out the 340 LBs on Big Hank.
Throwing him out there like that. Come on.
But joking aside, I mean, just the amount of praise these players give each other because they know how collective of a group they have to play in order to get these results.
For sure, and I want you guys to appreciate what this D-line has done all year long. Maybe after the season's over, go back and try and look at some film of this defensive line, getting after it time and time again, always just relentless, this attitude that they've had that started right here in this building in preseason, and they're continuing to get after it.
All right, so we shine a spotlight on the defensive line. After the break, we're going to shift our focus to EA's favorite level of the defense, that third level, the secondary. Stay with us here on Raiders Game Day. Welcome back to Raiders Game Day. Vince Sapienza alongside Eric Allen. And when the Raiders win, as they did today, 16-14 on the road in Cleveland, I like to give out as many game balls as I possibly can.
Give them out.
There is one EA that you are in particularly excited to give a game ball. Brandon Faison, fourth year.
For sure, because when it came to the green room today, you were all on this guy.
I was all about him.
Exactly. I mean, just a young guy playing at a really high level, getting targeted a lot. Brandon Faison was on his game against the Cleveland Browns, really doing an outstanding job having sticky coverage. That's what we like to say. Sticky coverage. Brandon Faison, let's check him out right here. So again, he's going to get a lot of targets because Casey Hayward's playing great football on the other end, so he's going to be in the boundary. So usually a boundary corner is going to see a lot of action because young quarterbacks like to throw to the short side of the field. So we're going to put Brandon, his long body. Great job in press coverage right here. Does a great job in the initial part of getting his hands on, but at the end it was a double move, so he gets beat. But does he give up? No. And it looks like Peoples dropped the ball. No, he didn't. Look at this. Young guys, finish the play. He's beaten on a double move, came back, caught up, and punched the ball out. Great job right there. Never give up. And again, on the short side of the football field, going to see a lot of action, playing off technique right now. Again, on the big, strong receiver. Again, have to find a way to stay involved in the play, continue to work all across. He started on the short side of the football field, ended up all the way on the other side of the numbers, made a great play again, breaking it up. Again, Brandon Faison playing good, solid, all-around football. Here, we got 2nd and 10, Brandon playing off again. Again, you got to be in the run game, right? That's Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is no joke. He brings it to the heat every single game. Great job at being in the run game. And then again, Brandon Faison, as we know, he plays the strong side of the football field. This is a really critical play here, man-to-man, in his grill. Look at that. Let's see it again from another angle. We like the fact. Great job at the line of scrimmage. You want to close, get to that hip, look at those eyes, get your head around, and get the ball. You don't want to swipe. You want to stick it in there like baseball, right? He does everything great right here. This is just solid cornerback play, cover skills on point for my man Brandon Faison.
I knew he was going to get you excited. That's why I came in the green room. Couldn't stop talking about him. 3 pass breakups, 4 tackles, as we just showed right there. But as we saw in this game, Brandon Faison was a guy the Cleveland offense was targeting from the get-go.
For sure.
And when that confidence is going, those early pass breakups, that does a world of confidence for the rest of that defensive unit.
Exactly. And then your coaching staff is excited about you too. So then now they can figure out a way to really put you on an island, let you lock down that guy, and bring some more pressure, let Jonathan Abram inside the box. So again, Brandon Faison played an outstanding game today at the cornerback position, but he helped cover sacks. He helped be able to get that defense really to rally around the run game.
Last week, we talked about players needing to step up in these games. Brandon Faison stepping up for all of Raider Nation. After the break, Raiders Game Day, we're going to hear from QB1 number 4, Derek Carr. Talk about ice in his veins. What do DC have to say? Stay with us.
This segment of Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Twitch. Watch, discover, join in.
Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect. You know, we're still working and all those good things, but the chemistry is I trust the guy, you know. And there was a slant Brian Edwards caught in the red zone. I think it was in the second quarter, maybe. I can't remember the quarter exactly. But to my right, single high coverage, and I told him that's trust down there, you know. And same thing with Zay, I trust him. And I told him, I went to him actually after that pick, you know, details of why don't matter, but I went to him, I said, I'm coming right back to you and we're going to win this game. And because I knew I needed him, you know, and I wanted him to know not only do I need you, but I believe in you. And even on the holding, he had a big play, big catch. And so super proud of him, super happy for him. Him and I have a very close relationship, you know, besides football, you know, when it comes to, you know, talking off the field and spending time together, and he comes over to the house and all those good things. So, you know, I trust him, and I'm just happy that we got the ball back, not, you know, for my own sake, but so that he could get the ball back in his hands. And he won the game for us. It was awesome.
Vince Sapienza, EA, you just heard from Derek Carr, and pretty easy theme to follow. Yeah. Trust, a big reason why Derek Carr was able to do the things he was able to do with his receiver, specifically Zay Jones.
Yeah, great friendship there, and that's what it's all about. You know, as teammates, those are the things that you miss when you leave the game, is that great bond, being able to kind of understand, you know, one another, pick each other up at times when we need to be picked up, and that was a perfect example of Derek Carr being the leader that he is.
And we talk about, you know, you saw it with some of those plays, some of those backyard, just kind of make a play when you need to make a play, and that connection was very obvious. Obviously, that goes a long way when you need to make a play, but it goes back to what he said last couple weeks. I know the guys I can trust, and I know how we can win, and he proved that with this game today. It wasn't pretty, as he admitted, but they got it done.
They did get it done. And when you can have more guys like that, because obviously you know he trusts Waller, you know he trusts Henry, Hunter, I should say, and then you bring along Zay. So, again, you have 3 really talented football players that in the moment and in time and game when you need to trust on someone, when Waller gets back, we're going to have so many guys that he's going to be able to go to. That's what really brings the trouble to defenders and defensive coordinators, to having so many options on the football field, particularly in the red zone. I think all 3 of these guys are really going to blossom in the red zone once Waller gets back.
Derek Carr feeling good, Raider Nation feeling good, dare I say feeling super, and not just because of the win in Cleveland. We'll explain a big ol' announcement after the break. Welcome back to Raiders Game Day. Vince Sapienza, Eric Allen, EA, Raider Nation. A lot of smiling today. A 16-14 road win in Cleveland. As we said, may not have been pretty, but it's not how, it's how many. The Raiders back to 500, back in the playoff picture, keeping everything in front of them. Raider Nation should be happy with this final stretch.
Yeah, looking forward to another opportunity to beat the Broncos again. But offensively, Derek Carr really did an outstanding job, particularly on that drive offensive line up and down all year, but I thought they played pretty solid this year, giving DC and the running game some punch. And then Jonathan Abram defensively, man, from the start of the football game, you can tell he was intense. He was all on it. So shout out to my man 2-4 for getting it done in the run game.
You talk about all the time playing meaningful games this time of the season. The Raiders are doing that, just that. And speaking of meaningful, I don't think there's a game more meaningful than the Super Bowl. And guess what, EA?
What's up?
Super Bowl is coming to town.
Man.
Super Bowl 58. The announcement was made official this past week.
That's awesome.
Take a listen.
Hello, everybody. On behalf of the league, very pleased to announce that a few moments ago, the membership voted unanimously to award Super Bowl 58 in 2024 to Las Vegas.
It's an honor to welcome you here to Allegiant Stadium for this exciting announcement from both the Las Vegas Raiders as well as the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority.
Las Vegas, the Super Bowl is coming. And I think there's some people that I'd like to thank, starting with Roger Goodell, National Football League, and my 31 other partners for trusting us with the most valuable asset that the NFL has.
The Super Bowl coming to Las Vegas is going to be an event like no other. We're exceptionally excited to host that. I want to thank Mark and the entire Raiders organization.
This announcement is exciting for the NFL. It's exciting for the Raiders, but most of all, it's exciting for the entire Las Vegas community.
No city at all is as well prepared to welcome football fans from around the world as is Las Vegas. It's just, you can't even put it into words. I mean, this was a long time in coming. When you look back, I think back about the first time I met MD, and we talked about the Raiders maybe moving here and then building a stadium and looking at sites and the dozens and dozens of meetings that led up to this, and a lot of votes. That we had to wrangle a lot of people together. It wasn't always easy. It was oftentimes close. There were an awful lot of naysayers that said it can't happen, you won't do it, can't afford it, not possible, but they kept working, they kept pushing, and here we are. I mean, not only do we have the Raiders in Allegiant Stadium, we have the Las Vegas Super Bowl coming. The Las Vegas Super Bowl. It doesn't get better than that. It just doesn't get better than that. It's the biggest sporting event in the world. That's what the Super Bowl is. And it's the Las Vegas Super Bowl. That's just amazing.
Las Vegas, Raider Nation, the Super Bowl is coming.
The countdown is truly on. Super Bowl 58, February 11th, 2024. What time is it? The countdown is still on. EA, I remember talking to Raiders owner Mark Davis years ago, and he told me if we build a stadium, Super Bowls will come. That was not just a thought in his head. That was a guarantee. We know Las Vegas is a destination city, but the work Mark Davis has done and this organization has done to make this a football destination. We see the draft, we see the Pro Bowl, and now we're seeing a Super Bowl.
Yeah, just amazing. This Allegiant Stadium and Mr. Davis, they have really done an incredible job so far. Even in our games, at halftime shows, our pregame shows are off the chain, off the hook. I cannot wait until the Super Bowl. This is going to be just the craziest, most exciting place to be on Super Bowl Sunday when it's hosted here in Las Vegas. And man, congratulations to the Raiders organization. It's going to be unbelievable. I mean, all the people from around the world, like I said, this is the biggest event to happen in the world every year, the Super Bowl. And again, it's going to be unbelievable here in Las Vegas, first class.
We know it's a spectacle. It's also a showcase of this city that we love so much. I know EA is going to hook it up with tickets, but we'll get to that in a few years. Raiders Game Day comes up. We're still rolling. Stay with us.
This segment of Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders.
My name is Jeremy Bernard. I am 17 years old, and I go to Liberty High School. To make a change in the community is just a great feeling to me, just because the faces that the youth make when they see me around, it just inspires me to push harder. I want to say to her, thank you for this opportunity and thank you for this blessing, because not a lot of players like me get this opportunity. And for me to be selected is a big blessing, and I want to thank you guys for having me.
Lots of hooting and hollering from the Raiders players as they left the field and headed into the locker room. They dominated most of this game, and they wanted to make sure that they came away with the W, and they also know the importance of that win because they are still in the playoff hunt. After everything that has happened here over the last week with the not knowing what's going on with Cleveland, the 48-hour delay to get this game kicked off, it's all smiles as they leave Cleveland, as the Raiders are now looking ahead to Denver on Sunday to keep that playoff push going.
You know, once that field goal went through the uprights from Daniel Carlson, all of a sudden it didn't feel as cold for the Raiders, I'm sure, at First Energy Stadium. Vince Sapienza alongside Eric Allen. A good day for the Raiders, specifically 3 of them, because we had some Pro Bowl announcements. Max Crosby, A.J. Cole, Denzel Perryman. EA, you know, we talk about the Pro Bowl, and sometimes they can get lost in the shuffle of, you know, just another announcements. These are big deals.
They are. They are. As a player, you want to make sure at the end of the season that you're recognized. And there's not a bigger honor than being in the Pro Bowl, because these are your peers who are voting for you. And I understand, like, people like All Pro, those are writers, and they may have all kind of agendas. It's about respect from the guys you play against each and every week. That's where it counts. And again, these 3 guys, really, really congratulations. It's huge honor. And I know people kind of, you know, oh, the Pro Bowl is not what it used to be. But again, the game might not be all that, but to be honored, to be on this team, man, is a true, true, true blessing. Keep all the gear, guys. Keep all the merchandise, you know, and because it's going to be, you look back on it after you retired, you're like, yeah, I was in the Pro Bowl, right?
And if you don't think it means a lot, take a listen to what Max Crosby had to say about his announcement.
Back in the game, what was that process?
Yeah, it was just, it just brought back memories. Like, shouldn't we get emotional? It's just like, I was in rehab, like, almost 2 years ago, and now I'm in a Pro Bowl. Like, it's just a blessing, man. I show up, and I try to be the best teammate. I try to be the best teammate every day and show my guys that I care, and that shit just hit home, man. It was it's special. It makes my family proud. My girl, everybody around me is calling, blowing up my phone. I'm like crying like a baby because I just know I've worked so hard, and it's starting to pay off. And, you know, Coach Marinelli, got to say something about him because he pushes me every day. Pushes me every day to be the best player I can be, and I want to kill him sometimes. He wants to kill me. But he just wants to see the best for me, and he knows what I want. You know, I want to be the best in the league, and he pushes me to be that guy every day. And there's so many people I can go on and on, but it's just exciting, man. It's a blessing for sure. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
This one counts, and the Raiders have won it. Las Vegas is still alive. 16-14 as Carlson hits the game winner.
That one counted, and do not count out the silver and black down the stretch as the playoff picture continues to unfold. EA, this was a big win just to feel those winning ways once again, but the way they did it in ugly fashion and on the road and in cold weather, and
look at that.
That's the reason.
For sure. And a lot of these teams we have played already. Ravens and Steelers, we've already beat. A lot of these teams we're going to play. And again, it really is about what happened today and how we were able to get that win, squeak it out, and just controversy throughout the week. And you fly down to Cleveland and you find a way to get it done. This is a football team that's resilient, but you have to show more resiliency in order to get yourself in a better spot in the next coming weeks.
And so we talk about the 5-2 start for the Raiders, 2-5 since, 7-7 now. But, you know, again, everything's still in front. Gonna need a little help. Let's take a look at the teams ahead of the Raiders and who they're playing. And when you look at this, you see obviously the Chargers. You play them at the end of the year.
And Vince, we don't want the players doing this.
We don't want the players. We can do this. This is what we're doing.
We don't want the players doing this.
But you look at who you're watching. You know, the Colts and the Chargers on your schedule in the final 3 weeks of the season. That's fantastic because that's destiny. That's all Raiders at this point. But look at who they're playing. What jumps out to you?
Right now, what jumps out to me is Cleveland playing Arizona, and we don't know what the heck Jacksonville is going to be about the last game. Usually a team that's struggling, has nothing to lose. That was a dangerous football team. And Jacksonville with nothing to lose. So trick play every time. You don't know how to prepare for those football teams. So that's the one that kind of stands out for me right now.
And as we saw, you know, the Cardinals get taken down by the Detroit Lions. This is the NFL is anything can happen. Any team can win. So when you look at it, but these are the teams and these are the games Raider Nation will need to be keeping an eye on. This is who they need to be focusing on. All the vibes, the good wishes, the bad wishes.
It's Christmas. We need a lot of presents under the tree.
A lot of presents. Holiday season, but a big present early on for Raider Nation today. Raiders game day rolls on. We're going to take another break, and when we continue, we're going to talk more about what's ahead and what today really meant for the Silver and Black.
This segment of Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Twitch. Watch, discover, join in. Modelo, a taste that's pure gold. Brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Las Vegas Raiders. And by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com.
I mean, pre-game and stuff with the wind, I think, 35 and in, 53-yard is kind of like a comfortable range. After that, 40 and in, we could hit that. I mean, it's at the end of the game. At the end of the day, we're going to probably try whatever is realistic and we could try and swing at. So offense did a great job, despite a couple penalties where, got pushed back, but they found a way to get the ball to, 30-yard line. 48-yard field goal. That's a huge props to them. Huge props to the defense making the stop quickly, so we got a chance to get the ball back. So awesome finish to the game and awesome team win for us.
When you first go out there, what a week to be a specialist. Daniel Carlson knocking the game winner. A.J. Cole going to the Pro Bowl. Trent Sieg just being a boss because he's a boss. Let us look at the Raiders' final 3 games of the season. We just showed you what is happening with the teams they're looking at.
Here we go.
2 home games in their final 3, both against their division opponents. The Broncos this week, the Chargers in the season finale, and then we don't want the team doing this, but we are looking at that Indy game.
First of all, Raider Nation needs to show up this week against the Denver Broncos. We need a packed house to help this football team hopefully get some of these injured players back. But this is going to be a grinded out, again, another football game. They'll probably be without Teddy Bridgewater. The Denver Broncos, so we're going against Locke. And again, guys going to be outside the pocket, trying to make plays outside. Got to keep that guy inside the pocket, forcing him to run the football, forcing him to be one-dimensional. We got to continue to show up, making some big-time plays on our outside.
Meaningful games. That's what you want.
That's what you want.
And that's what we have right here. And
that's what you want.
We also have some meaningful games tomorrow night, EA.
Yeah.
Because I may or may not have led Aaron's pick astray.
EA is coming.
Last time.
EA is coming.
So I'm making up for it with the Tuesday night pick 'em. Aaron and I are going with the Rams.
Okay.
And I see you chose them as well.
Yeah, I think the Rams, they're off the COVID stuff. Odell's back. That offense of the Rams is going to be full powered, and that Seattle defense is struggling a little bit.
You see, Marcel, for some reason, picked the Seahawks. I wonder why. And here we go. EA, you're copying my pick again.
Them birds not going to let me down. Them birds not going to let me down. And Marcel, what are you trying to do?
Really going against the grain.
Come on. He's trying to win, so he's not going to win. The birds are going to win.
Studio trying to...
Way to go, Raiders. Man, that was a great win, man.
How you feeling?
I was so excited. So excited.
Even though you couldn't watch that last second field goal.
I was turned away. I couldn't stand it.
Thanks for joining us here on Raiders Game Day. Eric Allen, I'm Vince Sapienza. We will see you on air and online.